This was what I thought was at least a very good AD Thresh ranked game. It went on for quite a while, lots of different things happened, and I thought I handled it mostly quite well, besides going insane. However, my audio settings meant that entire sentences were missed by my microphone. I was also talking a bit quietly, so that didn't help. And as a result, the actual straight from the stream video was unsuitable. At least it's Lee Sin, it's not like shit. However, I still think it's a good enough game, so rather than abandon it completely, we're going to look at it as a replay commentary, which I know is not everyone's thing, but if it is, be sure to hit like, subscribe, here's the thing on the screen, you all know what it means, and let's get into it. After we edit this, because I f***ed up, need to turn my soundboard off. There we go. So, this is a game of Thresh Top versus Lee Sin. Lee Sin Top is not something I've seen very often, at least not for many years. I played this game as well as all of those to follow with simple mute all. Now, the first thing that happens is that MF stands right here and walks right into the Nautilus's invade, giving Lee Sin a kill, who's my top laner, which doesn't make things very easy for me. This allows him to get a ruby crystal, and I guess a slight bit of XP as well. Meaning my hopes of actually beating him is very low. But nonetheless, I give it my best shot, give him a few of those starting slaps. It does cause my lane to push a bit, keeping the stacks of grasp going. It's going decently for now. They have a Shaco jungle, a Katarina mid, Tristana AD carry, and Nautilus support, whereas we have a Kha'Zix, Vex, MF, and Lux. You saw Shaco right there. However, I don't want to give up this crab. Also slap Lee a bit. You can see I'm trying to back up a little bit using the lantern for the souls rather than walking up for them. At least I think that's what I'm doing. Unfortunately for me, Shaco appears mid anyway. I go to help Kha'Zix take his crab. And of course, acquire soul. Always important. One of the best things as Thresh Top you can do is always rely on just sitting back and farming, just like Nasus, or just like anyone really, but just like Nasus, you'll get some benefits from it. Kind of win a trade with this Lee here, but his Doran Shield is going to give him more benefit than buying it would have from me. Kha'Zix goes to invade for some reason, which of course I can't just walk through. There's tons of minions, there's a Lee Sin. You know, I don't know what he was thinking. We'll never know what he was thinking as well because I muted all. And we don't see team chat in replay, we only see all chat. Meaning possibly very soon we might not see anything ever. Now Lee Sin starts doing a lot of damage and he was attacking me through the minions there, which I guess I didn't compute. In fear, I flash when he auto-attacks a minion because I thought that was a Q. Jukes a Q, so I survive. Get 30 FPS because League is great like that. I get that a lot. Do any of you guys get just random 30 FPS and you have to alt tab back in? Yeah, it's irritating. Lee Sin, now we begin this pattern, at least for now, of Lee Sin kind of pushing up to me keeping it frozen here, and then Lee Sin goes away to do something of which I will spam ping about. I walk up, you know, I'm not ready to surrender this lane yet. I still have my grasp, I still have my range advantage, but now he's level 6 and I can't mess with anything. Once Lee Sin presses R on you, you're stunned before he even kicks you. That's a funny little buff they gave him a few years ago to make making plays with the Playmaker man a bit easier. So, I buy a Vamp Scepter and a Cloth Armor, get the soul from my Kha'Zix here. Right, try to crash this wave in. Since he's not... Well, I was going to say since he wasn't there, I'd get my Demolish off, and I did. In a fairly neutral lane, so I think I can survive a bit, but alas, it's not looking good for me. He does a lot of damage. He doesn't step into the box, so we go ult for... Not even ult for ult, just ult for life. I do win the trade, but he's going to sustain with Doran Shield and just Lee Sin's nurse. Take some hits here. Unfortunately, I make the mistake against Lee Sin a lot of Eing towards him rather than towards me, so I do not cancel his Q. If I cancelled his Q, he might not have been able to finish off that combo and kill me, but him being 3-0 before I even fight him, it might have had something to do with it. But nevertheless, the damage that's been done has already been done. Nothing we can do about that. All we can do is teleport. It's not that bad of death, because we don't miss all of these minions here. We only miss a couple of them. But that whip, that Lee Sin's early game damage hurts a lot. We kind of expected to lose, especially when he starts 2-0. He takes the tabbies as well, and he becomes very, very irritating. We can see that our rest of our team is not doing good. Kha'Zix died up there at the Shaco's bugs. Vex is now 1-2 to Katarina. Go figure. And our bot lane are not doing too bad. Probably the saving grace of the game. Kha'Zix solos dragon. Shaco interrupts. Shaco steals dragon. As much as bot lane wanted to help Lee Sin, as I said, he started pushing and he's missing. You can see that I'm spam pinging missing. I'm pinging on the lanes where Lee Sin is. Being a complete and utter radar while I farm up these minions and souls and keep it frozen here. I do not want to be getting ganked by Shaco. So essentially all Lee Sin did was go take some farm from his mid laner. Katarina's going to try and make some plays over here. It's feared away, but is still going to get the kill with an Ignite on our Vex. Lee Sin comes back. And we're going to play the entire game again, where he pushes, I defend, preventing him from getting any more tower plates, using Lantern to take minion damage. You can also walk in and out of this bush to kind of play with that aggro. Lee Sin smells another wave and he's here to clear it. So he can go, I don't know, do something. I was worried a lot of these times that he would go take our blue buff, so I was constantly kind of pinging that area, hoping Kha'Zix would go clear it. He's missing again. I'm freezing. You can see that I'm pinging it. I get very worried about Lee's whereabouts, but he actually backs this time to become even stronger. Apparently he didn't really buy much, but nevertheless, still a worrying thing. I don't want to push because then that allows him to freeze, and I don't have a way as Thresh top to break freezes amazingly well, especially while he's ahead. So if he's freezing it here and I try to walk up to the wave at all, he'll just kill me. Kill on Shaco. So Shaco actually does a lot of mistakes this game. His first mistake was not going AP, hahaha, because AP kind of easy, not gonna lie. So you know what I mean. You just throw clones at people and they get stunned. Kha'Zix going very deep for a kill just to find. Vex will finish it off. But now Vex will find the Lee Sin. And he almost fucked up, but he did end up flashing. Kha'Zix is trying his best, but that's a fed big Lee Sin. I'm not sure you want to mess with that, my guy. Now, unbeknownst to me, because I've got mute all, like a smart person, I'm being now missing pinged. Now, what would happen if I walked up to Lee Sin here? Maybe I lantern Kha'Zix out at the cost of quite a lot of gold's worth of minions. Maybe Lee Sin kills me. Maybe Lee Sin kills another person on top of the two he already did. It sounds like going that deep and greedy was stupid in the first place, as now Tristana is free with her E and everything to get some tower plate gold on mid lane. Admittedly, this means our bot lane is able to get something here, but this can be seen as Tristana recovering from their weaker laning phase here. As you can see, MF is quite ahead. With no teleport, I buy tier 2 boots to get to lane a bit faster, but I'm going to miss a lot of these, pretty much all of these actually. But regardless, we have to get souls, we have to get gold, we have to get our Shieldbow. You don't have to go Shieldbow, you can go for any kind of fresh build you like. Titanic Hydra into tank is very nice. Lee Sin once again is going to use his Gore Drinker now, so now I definitely can't mess with him. To clear the wave rapidly. And then again, we'll continue to freeze the wave. Dragon is coming up again. There's all sorts of fights going on at any given time on the rest of the map. I'm still playing as a radar to tell them, hey, Lee Sin is in our jungle. But Vex, just kind of walks up to him. He does get a fear in there. This could be a kill on Lee Sin. It is. I remember this moment actually. But it does end up into a kill for Katarina, but that is completely worth it for us. That was a big shutdown on Lee, and that timing gives me some ability to push a bit because he's got quite a death timer now. He's so ahead. For once, I might be able to slap their tower platings. Literally just disappeared, by the way, so a bit sad. We'll push as much as we can, which isn't very much. They'll get Crab whilst Shaco is dead. And recall to get some more items. Our Lux has joined mid lane for a bit of a siege. MF is doing just fine on her own bot lane, it seems. Lee Sin is once again missing. We got a dragon. Luckily, our team at this point did know it. So, only one of Lee Sin's roams led to something, and that one led to his death as well. So that's quite good. Even with Mutal, we were able to use communication, at least outward. If you're able to pay a lot of attention, then you're not going to need as much communication on your team. You shouldn't really ever, in at least the ranked environment, the competitive environment, in trying to improve yourself and be better, blaming people for missing. I think blaming people for missing pings or not missing pings is probably one of the crappiest excuses you have for dying, because you could have just looked at the map. When you say that, it's like you admitted that you didn't look at the map, or you didn't ward, or you didn't pay attention, which is okay sometimes. You know, not everyone's going to pay attention 100% of the time, but if it's ranked and you're really trying to say that other players are bad because they didn't ping missing, then you're insulting yourself. Anyway, not quite closing the gap in terms of levels, but we are closing the gap in terms of CS with all of Lee Sin's failed roams and my freezing at the turret. Getting closer to our Shieldbow. We've got a Tabbies as well since they have an AD Shaco. I thought if he was AP Shaco it would be a bit more complicated. Now Lee Sin missing again. And, who's that? Vex? Yeah, Vex dying to Shaco, of course. Kha'Zix's gonna run away in the jungle. Scared of Lee Sin. Lee Sin fails to kill MF, which is good. Never mind, I remember that. Oh my. I remember this exact situation of feeling like, oh yeah, I'm glad MF survived, and then she didn't. I was like, oh, damn it. Anyway, back in time before Lee Sin gets here. Now we have our Shieldbow, which is actually a fantastic safety blanket. I'm sure you all know about Shieldbow, because it's a bit ridiculous. In fact, the game I just played, like, in real time, about an hour ago, we had 4 Shieldbows on our team. Now, I kind of mess up. I messed up a hook on this Trist. In fact, hopefully replays don't bug out. My god, what is going on? I know I tell you. See, I say that the replays bug out. And I bet some of you don't believe me when I say that, but that's evidence. Anyway, so Nautilus pops out of the bush just when I think about warding. He ults. Now, Rusana does that, and you can see I'm trying to hook her, but, you know, that's where she was about a second ago. It's not very good. Luckily, her second jump was both not good enough to catch me, but also not good enough to die herself. So she's just going to push and back. Nautilus is considering it, but he can't do anything on his own. So I'm able to get all this farm unperturbed, just at the cost of my flash and ults. Which, given how pacifist I'm playing this game, aren't actually totally necessary at the minute. I decided that if Lee Sin was to come up, frankly I believe he was in their topside jungle, then it would be worth my life to get this turret right now. And it would be even more worth my life if we had what do you call them? Objectives. Comeback bounties. Kha'Zix, with a couple kills and a Duskblade now, goes in on the Lee Sin 2 levels above him. I'm trying to stay kind of in range enough to help, but Lee Sin messes up his Q. He could have maybe won with that. Also depending on his Gore Drinker cooldown. So it was very cool that Lee Sin managed to mess up there. But absolutely, would have died without the Shieldbow in that fight just now. Oh, that was a clone. Okay. That was weird. I swear that clone was cloaked. Now with the mid-game starting, you can actually look into getting some of Thresh's strengths out. And by that I mean hooking people who are already dead, but also having some level of protection on this Misfortune that Lux wishes she could do against the Katarina, the Lee. whilst also packing quite a punch as well, the Shieldbow. And, you know, the Shieldbow actually does hold its own as a tank item. Okay, tanky item, not a tank item. As well. It's surprising how much stuff I get away with on Shieldbow. Block the shot from Lee, attack him, box him in. He decides to go in on it. I think he'll just yeet for MF, but he doesn't. Instead, he tries to run away. That's why my hook didn't hit there. But now Lee Sin falling off. The teamwork of the AD carry, and by that I mean an AD carry doing literally anything at all, whilst not dying, is able to overcome his power. The Shaco is going to fall off. Now I'm just a fucking idiot here. I just die. No, we don't need to see that. I just stayed there for way too long. That's on me. Vex, as I figured, bit of a farm fiend. Got pinged several times that she's going to take that top farm. It's like, alright, you don't need to see that. Katarina just went in and ulted on 4 people for no reason. One of them being a Thresh. Kind of funny. An MF ult and a Luxor is going to be enough to take that. Unfortunately, a jumpless Kha'Zix is now going to have to ult past the tower and die almost, if not for a heal, but then die to a Shaco purely because he was greedy as shit and had no faith in the skill shots of his team. Unfortunately, having faith in your teammates is actually more often a mistake than not. Push D down here, so can't blame him, really. Dragon coming up very soon. Lee Sin attempting to have some kind of presence in the game. Trying not to let go of that lead. You could see with all of the roams and ganks earlier, he was desperately trying to snowball his early game lead and help his teammates there. Unfortunately, none of it really went through. We get into a fairly long kind of mid-game standoff here. We're going to look at the timer. Okay, we're about 60% in. Sped up MF4. It's kind of funny. The Mastery 7 says it all, really. I'm not sure what we're after. Okay, so we spotted Shaco on the map. Kha'Zix, unfortunately, instead of taking the dragon, I think he did a fight here, and you can see Lee Sin is like, oh fuck yeah, he's dead. Let's get dragon. Massive shutdown on Vex that Lee Sin's able to claim here, and then he's going to do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, I do E a bit early, and that means that he's able to get a double Q onto MF. I'm trying to do my best here to get the Tristana, but Lux gets the Tristana instead. With her final breath there, but we just die and give up a dragon here, and that's really sad. If Kha'Zix was here, we could have just done dragon in the first place, but he decided to go 1v3. Which was crap. Always, as Thresh start, by the way, take any souls from nearby dying creeps, jungle monsters, anything. You don't have to steal the farm, you can just stand by it. Okay, so we've gone for red Thresh here. As you can see, we've got Shieldbow tabbies and Thornmail. Thornmail, since we can afford it and since they have a lot of auto attackers, a lot of AD, it's kind of worth it. This fight goes south very quickly. Lee Sin gets very low. He then gets a shield that saves him from MF ult. At this point, I'm just too deep in. I'm saying, MF, get out of here. Get the Katarina at least. Shaco is going to die to Vex, and then she's going to go, hey, that's a lot of people. I'm on a roll here. I bet I can kill these 2 high health enemies. MF is back there, maybe she had a bit of faith. Now her ult misses, which is kind of a lot of her damage. And then she decides, you know, fuck it, let's go in. Actually, I feel like this actually worked out, didn't it? It's kind of dumb. I think Vex's W is so fucking stupid. The shield is huge. Anyway, that did work out. I remembered it differently. Alright, cool. This was yesterday, by the way. In relation to me in the present moment. Excellent. We're currently 147, which is not a good stat line for the YouTube clickbait, but that's still 7 participations as a top laner, which is only a few behind Lee Sin if you think about it. This means Lee Sin is stealing more gold from his team to be useless. And by useless, I mean killing it all. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and do that. Since I use both my CCs on Lee, I make sure I back away immediately from the Katarina, and that does lead to a nice little bait that they cannot escape from for our 200 years champions to clear up. Chase very far into at least a Shaco and die to it. I tried to help, but a little too late. Tristana's pushing really freaking hard. Someone pinged to go for the turret. Like their turret. I wonder who did that. In any case, we need this dragon. Now I can think about recalling, but Tristana's already long gone. Vex has already respawned. So kind of pointless. Oh well, we got some items. We've now got a Negatron. We're going into our wit's end now, I think. So that's going to give us some more attack speed. Very useful in the late game when you have more souls. Shaco just kind of hinting there. And now we can start to put on some pressure in the mid lane. Catch the hook on the Tristana. She's not going anywhere. Lee Sin melting to the multitude of DPS available to the three of us here. Even if I wasn't able to apply it for most of the game. And apparently the enemy team is really at each other's throats a bit. And one of them tried to surrender even. Never have too many souls, currently at 123. We find a Shaco here, which I kill without the MF. And the I remember here the MF almost got me killed by the clone. It would have been if it was AP. Luckily, he was not. Steal the enemy's buffs whilst they aren't looking. Take a bit of bot lane pushing. Not quite enough to have too much of an impact in hindsight. But it's something that they can think about whilst our team is on Baron. I do have a teleport and I get very aggressive with the placement. You can see Tristana tries to have a bit of a go. I do a Mastery 7 flay into a Mastery 8 hook right there. Very long. Flash to secure the kill on the AD carry. Very important target, even if she is very behind. Lee Sin perishes in the MF skill button. And as a team, very important word, we can now push together. Lee Sin did a lot for his team, or at least he tried to. He got a lot of early leads, but he couldn't really hold it through, whereas Thresh has scaling. Kind of funny how that works. And if you tell that to someone without any kind of backup, they're going to call you a fucking idiot. But who cares about those people, huh? I mean, really, our champions are just 200 more years of experience in their design than the enemy team, and that's the real reason we won. But thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'm sorry it wasn't a live game. I thought the live commentary was rather entertaining, but you can't hear basically any of it. Sorry about that. Hope you enjoyed anyway. The game that I played after is a little bit better. It's a Gwen game, still live commentary, not replay, and because I was a bit more awake, a bit more loud and vocal, most of my words are picked up by the mic. Luckily that's all been sorted, hopefully, as you can tell by the voice on this replay and on some of the other games that will come after these. Once again, thank you so much for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, bye bye.